Hi friends, good evening. My name is Nanda, and today is the week 6 of Spiritual Tuesdays. And today we are going to talk about a topic called as power of intuition. That is one of the most important topics. And before we start this particular topic, we'll sit for meditation. We'll do 10 minutes of meditation, and then after this meditation, we can start our uh, session. Thank you. So sit comfortably, my dear friends. Cross your legs. If you have specs, please remove the specs. If you have specs, please remove your specs and then sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Clasp your hands, fingers into fingers. Observe your normal and natural breath, my dear friends. In breath and out breath. Observe your normal and natural breath, my dear friends. In breath and out breath. If you get thoughts, please cut your thoughts and come back to your normal and natural breath, my dear friends. Last 5 minutes. Last 3 minutes. Last 1 minute. Yes. 1 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please place your hands on your eyes. Yes, my dear friends. So today we are going to talk about a topic called as the power of intention. Hope it was a good meditation, and we'll start our session today. And the topic is the power of intuition. So power of intuition is very, very much important to each and every human being, my dear friends. All our decisions should come from that power of intuition. It should come from the intuition. All our thought process or everything, it should come from your intuition. Then it becomes very much powerful. For example, if we go on if we go and do prayer, right? Prayer is called as communication between human entity as well as the God, right? So in that way, prayer is a telephonic conversation between uh, the human being as well as the God. It is from the human to the God. But the intuition is the telephone conversation or the telephone line where the God calls you or where the God telephones you. So whenever you do prayer, right? So you're going to ask something to the God, right? They you ask some wish list to the God. But the intuition, it's the other way around. The God speaks through you. That is called as intuition. And we all know, right? Swami Ramanuja, the great mathematician. So he told the world that all the mathematical formulas that he was able to derive, right? All of these formulas were given by the God. So the God speaks through him. That's what he said. Meaning he had that intuition. So all the mathematical formulas used to come to him as an intuition. That is the importance of intuition, my dear friends. The mind created thoughts are different and the intuition is different. Intuition comes from your soul and the thoughts come from your society, right? So you believe in a thought process based upon the thought process of your society of or your family. That is with the mind. But the intuition, it comes from many lifetimes. It comes from your soul, how the soul is evolved. Based upon that, the intuition is going to come. And all of the scientists, right, they are all have done a lot of spiritual practice in their past times, past lives. And when they have done those spiritual practice in their past life, they have been given with this gift of intuition. And whenever you take any scientist, right, so all of the scientists are born with those intuitions. And whenever you practice meditation, whenever you are aligned with the nature, right, the intuition will come. And sometimes what happens, my dear friends, is sometimes we suddenly get a thought, right? Suddenly get a thought, and then that will be a greater realization, right? That particular thought, it comes from your intuition, from your soul. And in some books, it is also told that we have our multiple realities, right? So we are all multi-dimensional beings, right? So in one of those dimensions, so we are all multi-dimensional beings. We are all living in different dimensions at a single point of time, right? So all these intuitions, they drop from that one of the parallel dimension that we are living, right? So they drop from that parallel dimension, and then they come to this particular dimension. That's where your soul was able to get that knowledge, because the same soul is there across all different dimensions, right? The soul is experiencing your multi-dimension self in all different dimensions, right? So sometimes we get those intuitions or thoughts from intuitions from other dimensions. They slip from one dimension to the other dimension. All of a sudden, you get those thoughts. This is called as true intuition. Intuition is where your subconscious brain or else your soul speaks to you. Soul meaning the God. The God particle speaks to you. That is called as intuition. And in order to get these intuitions correctly, right, we need to do a lot of meditation practice. So we need to do meditations. Apart from meditations, there are all many different types of techniques, my dear friends, where you can develop your intuition, where you can harness power of intuition. So the one way of activating your intuition is you need to be always in a positive mood. You need to be always self-sufficient. This is where the intuition will start. If you are still in the survival mode, right? So during the evolution of stage, evolution of soul, right? You will come from soul survival stage to the next level, right? So similarly, we need to get rid of the survival stage. Whenever you get rid of the survival state, you will climb the ladder towards the higher levels, where you will think of doing a greater good to the society, right? That's where the intuition starts. Whenever you don't think about yourself and then you think about the higher purpose or to the benefit of the society, then only you're going to enrich yourself. Then only the true intuitions come. All the saints, all the rishis, right? They have done this meditation practice as well as they always think about the betterment of the society. They never think about themselves. When they believe for the betterment of the society, then the intuitions will pour in. Then the God speaks through them. Ramanuja got this intuitions so that the whole humanity can be advanced to the next level. He never got these intuitions just because to feed his family or something like that. Not. So all these intuitions come for the greater good. They might help you, but they're all driven for a greater good. Whenever you do great service to the society, the same service will follow you. You will experience that joy when you perform the service to the society, right? That's how the intuitions will follow. And to activate these intuitions, my dear friends, we need to always be self-sufficient. And there are a lot of practices where you can harness this power of intuition. You need to know the power of we need to know how to prepare ourselves to get these intuitions. We need to get into the mood of thinking positive as well as self-sufficient. So you need to get rid of the survival consciousness, and then you need to um, enhance yourself. You need to develop yourself so that you can plan on doing a greater good to the society. That is called as law of preparation, my dear friends. These are all preparatory stages. When you prepare yourself for performing a greater good to the society, then the intuitions will follow. That is called as law of preparation. And apart from this law of preparation, you also need to know that there is a you are abundant being. You are very abundant, and there's a universal supply chain mechanism. Whenever you ask for more, the universe will deliver it for the higher good. It's not only for your personal uses, but for a higher good. So the universe always grants us with a lot of abundance, my dear friends. Abundance is from the universal universe, and there is a huge universal supply chain mechanism. Whenever you are abundant, whenever you ask for something, the universe will definitely grant it for you. And that it grants because you are thinking in a higher evolution pattern where you wanted to do a service to the society. Then only the intuitions will follow. You need to have faith in yourself. That is one more thing where you can practice this faith in yourself. When you practice faith in yourself, you're going to activate your intuition. So when you practice this intuition, when you practice all of this, right? When you practice the abundance, when you practice uh, doing good to the society, or when you practice the faith in yourself, and when you practice meditation, all of this will constitute to the activation of intuition. And we can do a small exercise always, my dear friends. So before we sleep, right, we need to tell ourselves that I will know what I'm going to do tomorrow. You should be self-aware of yourself. So we should during our sleep, before our sleep, we should just give this thought to our soul that I know what I'm doing. When you tell that, all the intuitions will come to you in the dreams. They will flash before you, and using those intuitions, you are going to make a better living. You can do a lot of service using those intuitions. So we are training our mind. So during the sleep, we are going to train our mind that I'm going to do whatever I'm willing to do. When you tell that, and then you are going to get all the dreams, as well as you're going to train your mind so that during the sleep it can go and program your subconscious brain. There are a lot of affirmation exercises that we can do during before we go to the sleep, my dear friends. So we need to do a lot of affirmation uh, practices so that all of this information can go into our subconscious brain, and then you can get access to your intuitions. Because the subconscious brain has the memory from all different past lives. So the intuition is directly proportional to the past life. So all the knowledge, all the wisdom that you are having is from your past life, and it is all stored in your subconscious brain. So whenever you try to access this intuition, right? whenever you want to activate this intuition. So you need to unlock your subconscious brain. So one way to unlock your subconscious brain is doing affirmations. When you start doing affirmations, so when you start doing affirmations about law of preparation, right? So you are preparing yourself to the higher to do this service, right? When you start doing affirmations in a to evolve yourself so that you can serve people, right? Then you are going to activate your intuition. And also, apart from affirmations, we need to believe in ourselves. What you believe will become our reality, and it will manifest. So all the intuitions that all the scientists have been getting, they believe in that truth. They believe in it. Once they believe in it, they are going to manifest in it. That's how the scientist works. All the scientists, they get these intuitions and they believe in those intuitions. And when they believe in those intuitions, then only they are going to manifest it. And always we need to know, we need to impress our subconscious brain with the good ideas, like by doing a greater service, or by having a good thoughts, like service to the society or any perfect ideas. So you need to embed all of this information, all of the perfect ideas or highest highest service duties to your subconscious brain, rather than having doubts and fears. So you need to program your subconscious brain. You need to program your subconscious brain so that you can have abundance, you can have faith, you can manifest. You need to train your subconscious brain that way, rather than having fear or doubts about ourselves. When you start programming your subconscious brain, right, it will unlock the knowledge from our past lives, from where we get those intuitions. And then we also need to know that the true power lies within us. We need to believe that, and then we need to, based upon that, we are going to elevate our consciousness. We are going to get access to our subconscious brain. There is no need of having fear or any resentmentness. There is no need to fight with anyone. We should always have a good purpose for our living, right? The good purpose is to be friendly with each and everyone and to help each and everyone. Sometimes what we do is we try to do a service, and we think that this particular intuition came to help others, right? So when you start doing, when you start helping others, right, so you're only, sometimes you might get profit out of that service, or else you might not learn anything out of that service. You might not get any benefit out of that service, but you can surely get the joy out of that service. You can get a great learning out of the service. For example, if you helped, if you help uh, any homeless people or anyone, right? If they are drug addicts or anyone, right? So they take they take help from you, but they don't appreciate the help, right? There is no need of so you might not get a greater benefit whenever you do some type of services, but you will get a lot of learning. So you should always show love and good to each other, to everyone. You need to have a goodwill to each and everyone, even though he's a um, even though the other person hates, right? We need to show him love and affection. When we show love and affection, then you can completely transform yourself. Whatever you are showing, right, that will reflect upon you. These are all mirror images. And the other day when I was attending one of the Satyanarayana Swami Ratham, I was able to see that the Pujari was saying that earlier, before the ideals were introduced into this puja, they used to pray by placing a mirror in front of them. So he was saying that before the idols were introduced for this puja, they used to have a mirror. So this is all practices of spiritualism, my dear friend. Um, so when you see yourself in the mirror, right? So you yourself are like a god. So you yourself are treating yourself as God, and then you are doing puja, right? So we are all the reflections of ourselves. Even though if I hate someone, right, they're all the reflections of myself. So we need to have that loving nature within us. Even though someone else hates us, we need to provide that loving and goodwill nature to them. When you start doing that, it reflects within us. So that is one of the important thing, my dear friends. So whenever you practice all of these things, right, intuitions will definitely follow. For example, when you take Abdul Kalam, right, so he's very much friendly with each and everyone, right, and he's a scientist. So he got all of these intuitions whenever he also reads Bhagavad Gita. He also reads a lot of things. He does a lot of things, right? All of this can only be achieved whenever you are a master, whenever you are a master of spirituality. Similarly, Patriji also. So all of these masters, right? They have all of these qualities like affectionate, kindness to each other. They also have the self. They also have the abundance. They practice all of this, my dear friends, affirmations. And if one of your friend doesn't like any one of your items, right? So we need to start doing the affirmation exercise. When you start doing the affirmation exercises, right, it transforms into an electromagnetic energy, and then when it transforms into electromagnetic energy, so we are all electromagnetic beings, right? So whenever your friend comes into that radius, right, so his that electromagnetic energy is going to transform him with kind words. So you greet him with the kind words, even though he's not liking your shirt or anything like that. Whenever you treat him with some kind words, right, he gets influenced with it. So all these electromagnetic energies, there is an energy transfer between you and your friend. And when the energy transfer takes place, he's going to definitely like you, and then he's going to provide a good feedback, good thoughts, even though he doesn't like your dress, or even though he doesn't like to be in union with you at that time. But whenever you start doing these affirmations, or whenever you greet him with goodwill and love, he will definitely change his thought process, and then he will help you with good comments. That is how things work, my dear. So to get intuitions is not easy. So we need to follow all of these practices, and you always need to be in spiritually aligned. So whenever you are spiritually aligned, then intuitions will flow. And whenever you get these intuitions, right, so you'll get a lot of knowledge, lot of wisdom. All of this wisdom and all of this knowledge comes from the intuition, and this is all soul knowledge. And with the soul knowledge, you'll have the greater responsibility. We all know, right? So with the great power comes the great responsibility. Similarly, with great wisdom, great learnings, it comes with a greater responsibility. You can see, like, for example, right? So you can see all the yogis, all the mystics, all the rishis, right? So they do everything with responsibility. They have high responsibility to the society. We still don't do we still don't have that in us. But when you practice meditation, when you go into that state of being, right, you will get more wisdom, more knowledge, and with those more knowledge and more wisdom, you're going to you are going to become more responsible towards the society. That's where the story of Shirdi Sai Baba and many more yogis come, my dear friends. They have hurt themselves. They took the whole responsibility of the society, and then they hurt themselves. And then um, with hurting themselves, they thought that they can do some betterment to the society. They took that responsibility. Even Jesus Christ, he himself got hurt, and he took that kind of greater responsibility. So to get uh, to get these intuitions very much activated, right? So we need to follow uh, spiritualism. Spirituality is the main thing. Where whenever you are evolving, because the intuitions directly comes from the soul knowledge, and soul knowledge only comes from meditations and also book reading and sajjana sanghatya. And we also need to follow one of the main principles, my dear friends. So you need to have gratitude. Always be gratitude to each and everything in your uh, in your world. Never do any complaints. So when you complain, right, you degrade yourself. You drop to your lower vibrations. But when you practice the gratitude exercise, right, you're going to raise your vibrations. Whenever you raise your vibrations, then only the intuitions come to you, my dear friends. And when you do this gratitude exercise, right, you become self-sufficient. You become abundant, and you will never have the feeling of loss, or else the fear of loss. So you're not going to have that. You're going to become abundant. And we all need to trust ourselves, my dear friends. So we need to trust ourselves, and then whatever that we get, right? So I get a salary. So we need to trust in it. So when you trust, you're going to believe in yourself and then manifest yourself. Similarly, right? So in God we trust is the slogan that we see in all the dollar bills, right? That's where all of this comes, my dear friends. So everything is part of the soul knowledge. We need to understand that. We need to know the deeper meanings of all of this, and we can easily sense if someone is feeling sad, right? So whenever your friend comes, right, he tries to speak uh, with all the different positive things and everything, right? But underneath he had a very sorrow feeling. His soul is hurt, so he doesn't want to express that. Instead, he tries to speak very good things. But with whenever you have those intuitions, right, whenever you have that power of the intuition, right, you can easily sense that your friend is hurt, and you can easily identify that. So all the yogis, right, all the mystics, so they see yourself, they see any disciple or anyone, and based upon their aura, or else they can easily get get to know about the other person just by the help of intuition, my dear friends. So intuition is such a very powerful tool. We always forget about intuition, but intuition is the main root cause for all the greatness that all the scientists or as rishis are having. So that's where we need to practice this intuition. We need to uh, activate our intuition, my dear friends, so that we can know the true power of ourselves. And whenever you get to know yourself, right, the intuitions will follow, and you will get the wisdom. So today there was a question. One of the lady, she asked Patriji about how comes Patriji can answer all the questions. Whoever puts those questions to Patriji can answer it. So how come, she asked Patriji. Patriji told that it comes all from the intuition. Again, he wants to give his answers through the intuition with differently each and every time. Say suppose a single person or multiple people put the same question, right? He wants to uh, answer to that single question with multiple answers, multiple different ways. That's where his intuition will come. His intuition helped them because he has been doing a lot of meditations from his previous lifetime, right? So he has that soul knowledge. Based upon the soul knowledge, he was able to answer in different ways for a single question. And that's where he was very responsible in answering each and every question. That's where he get that we can get that creativity. So intuition will help you to create, to be very creative with your answers, not with the boring answers. He always want to be very much creative. So intuition is the root cause for each and everything, my dear friends. And intuition can also help you to be simple. It helps you to live a simple life rather than complicated life. We all know, right? Simplicity is one of the greatest quality, right? We all get the simplicity uh, with the help of these intuitions. And this all comes from the spiritual practice. You can take examples of any number of people, Abdul Kalam or anyone, right? So they are very simple. They are very down to earth. So whenever we are simple, right? Whenever we are very simple, then we can focus on lot of areas. We can focus on a lot of important stuff. When you yourself become very much complicated by doing a lot of other things, right? When you think yourself as a very much complicated being, right? You will not be able to focus something. You will not be able to focus on very important aspects of your life. But when you are simple, you can focus on the most important aspects of your life, and you can develop yourself. That's where our intuitions will definitely help, my dear friends. So intuition is the main root cause for uh, all the good qualities that a human can access. Yes, my dear friends. So this is the end of the topic. Any questions, Andy? So intuition is basically a prayer. So whenever you pray, right? So you pray. Whenever we pray, we are calling God. But whenever you get intuitions, God is coming through. God is speaking to you. So always we need to develop ourselves from this prayer mode to the intuition mode. So these are all stages of our spiritual evolution, my dear friend. So it comes all with the practice. Whenever you practice, you will definitely you're definitely going to evolve yourself into that stage where you get intuitions directly from the God, and you can become a spiritual scientist then. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So if you have any questions, please let me know, or else we'll do 5 minutes of meditation and then we can close the session. Okay. So if we don't have any questions, my dear friends, so we'll sit for meditation for about 5 minutes, and then we can end the session. So sit comfortably, close your eyes. If you have specs, please remove your specs. Observe your normal and natural breath, my dear friends. In breath and out breath. Let us all affirm ourselves by saying that we are self-abundant beings. We are all going to get all the intuitions, and our life is going to get very much simpler. Let us all know the true purpose of our life. Intuitions get activated whenever you practice spiritualism. There are various ways to get this intuition, my dear friends. You can get intuitions by the thoughts, or else you can randomly look at any numbers or anything like that. You can also get intuitions by channeling from higher masters. So we need to open ourselves. We need to be ready to accept all the information through the intuitions. Please practice this before you go to bed. Say to yourself that you are ready to accept all the intuitions that you can get. Last 30 seconds, my dear friends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please place your hands on your eyes. Open your eyes with a good smile on your face. Thank you, my dear friends. So today is the end of the 6 weeks, Spiritual Tuesdays, and we'll meet next time with a new master and new topic. Thank you all. Namaste.